Hi folks, this is Jay Ward from Ausable Valley Alpacas and Light Livestock Equipment, and we're talking about double-sided hay feeders, a little bit how to load them, why we use this closure, and about using them for feeding grain. First, we use a bungee cord here instead of the standard thumb latch, because in our climate in the Northeast, the moisture will get in the thumb latch and freeze in the wintertime. So we use a bungee to hold them closed. Now, the roof has an overlap, as you can see. This side should go towards the prevailing wind, so the wind comes over the top as opposed to the wind coming under and wanting to lift this. So orient the feeder properly based on your wind. All four of these legs are adjustable for uneven ground. There is a bolt on each of them so that they can be set level wherever the terrain is in your barnyards. Now, when loading hay, I like to take a flake of this nice hay at a time and put it in so that the broad side of the flake is against the mesh in the feeder, as opposed to cut ends sticking out of the mesh. I think the alpacas prefer to go towards the broad side because they can get the long side of the hay as opposed to going at what may be prickly hay. Speaking of hay and hay quality, this is what I find to be a very desirable alpaca hay. As you can see, it's very fine. I call it June grass. I'm not sure if that's the right name. And has very little stalk to it. I'm trying to find some stalk. This is a little bit of a heavier stalk, but there's very little of that even. The stockier the hay, the less it will work in the hay saver feeders because it'll bridge up. This kind of hay, they'll eat all of it and there'll be no issues. If there's a lot of stalk, they don't eat the stalk, and that will then build up in the feeder and cause issues. So look for the finest hay you can, is what I think alpacas like the most, and certainly works in the feeders best. So, choke-free feeding. One of the things that I like our feeders for is the ability to feed grain in the tray and reduce the incidence of choke. It also moves the hay around. There can be some buildup of hay in here. You can see they've been eating this hay and they seem to like it because there's not a whole lot in here. But if there is some undesirable hay, it will build up in there a little bit. Not much moisture gets in there. The overhangs keep it out. But if some moisture does get in there, if the hay just sits, it will mat. And that's been one of the concerns from some customers is, you know, they get a little bit of hay with a little bit of moisture and it will build up. A way to avoid that is by using the choke-free feeding of pellets in the hay feeder, because the alpacas will move it all around. And I just sprinkle it around like so, and then they're going to move it all around, and as you can see, we have no buildup of hay here, no moisture buildup of hay, because the alpacas are always going after the pellets that we put in there and keeping it moving. So, that's a little bit about using a double-sided hay saver feeder. This is a 4-foot long version. They come in 6 and 8 foot long. We do also have a bar style mesh. Most of them are a bar style feeder. Most of them are the mesh style, but we do have a vertical bar style. It doesn't control as much of the waste, but some people prefer that style. So we have a number of different options. They are shipped collapsed. All the parts end up in this tray, and they ship very nicely, or they transport in a vehicle very nicely. And it's an easy setup, and we provide instructions. So, if you have any questions, please contact us at Light Livestock Equipment. Our website is lightlivestockequipment.com. And thank you to our videographer today, Lucy Ward of Ausable Valley Alpaca.